Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us here on NewsWest 9. I'm Lilybeth Fias, and even though we're still a ways away from the November elections, the Odessa mayoral race is one of the most talked about positions that Odessans will be heading to the polls for. And joining me here today is Cal Hendrick, the newly announced candidate seeking to fulfill the mayoral seat for the city of Odessa. As of right now, Cal is the only candidate running against current Odessa City Mayor Javier Joven, who is seeking re-election this year. Cal, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Cal, let's get started. I mean, I've heard so much about you. I've heard that you're a West Texan at heart. Please tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So I lived here all my life, but it goes back further than that because my great-grandparents moved here in the 1880s. They moved a herd of cattle here and decided this was the spot for them, and we haven't moved since. So we've been here for a long, long time. I grew up in Odessa. I went to school in West Odessa, San Jacinto, Bowie Junior High at the time, and OHS. So I've been here all my life, except when I went to college, and I went to Angelo State for 4 years. I have a business degree. Then I went to UT Law School, and after graduating, I moved back to Odessa.
Well, after being here for so many years, a lot of people may be asking themselves, why are you choosing to run for mayor now?
Well, I think that's an excellent question, and the truth is, before I was so busy working, raising my family, I had other commitments. I've been very active in both the community and state doing different board roles. And it just seemed like the time was right for me to engage. I want to serve my community. I want to do what I think is best for the city. And so I'm willing to kind of put everything else on hold right now and focus on the city.
Now, I understand you are running in a political affiliation, is that correct?
Well, I guess more accurately, the city council and the mayor are what's called nonpartisan. That is, there's not a party attached to it. You know, if you want to know what am I? Well, I'm a Republican. I'm not going to lie to you. When Ronald Reagan started running for president in 1980, and I saw his platform, I saw what he stood for, I just thought that was who I was. And so I became, I guess, a Republican before I could legally vote. And then I've been one ever since. I'm physically conservative. I'm against raising taxes. Who isn't, by the way? I mean, who doesn't say that? Because you'd be crazy. Who wants to pay more? On the other hand, I also want to make sure the city has strong infrastructure, water treatment plant, roads. So we have to be sensitive that we, with taxpayer money, use it wisely, but also that includes having the proper infrastructure that we have water on demand and no breakdowns and no shutdowns.
Well, that's actually leading up to my next question, which is if you were to be elected city mayor, what would be your main focuses?
And so I'm going to tell you, I think the most important thing to Odessa is water. We live in a desert. We are many miles from a lake and a river. And so when you live in a place like Odessa, in the Chihuahuan Desert, you have to be very sensitive to water conservation and water use. So I think the failure of the water system of late, and there's been, I think I saw the statistic 96 already this year, that's unacceptable to me. The city, I think, has sort of kicked the can down the road. I think some city leaders have always known that our infrastructure is aging and old. You know, cast iron pipe should last 50 to 70 years, and almost all of ours are older than that. And so there's a master water plan. It was prepared in the 2018, it was started, completed in 19. And so there's actually a plan in place, but from my view, from looking at it, it's not been enacted, it's not being followed. There's a 5, a 10, and a 25-year plan. I think we are making a critical mistake by not focusing on water, our pipes, our system. And to go along with that, we also have a water treatment plant called the Dellinger, that is also past its life expectancy. And so it is possible, maybe even probable, that there's going to be a failure at that plant and or with more water. And so that has to be our number one focus. We have to have a water treatment plant. We have to have water. You turn on the faucet, I think everyone in Odessa has a right to expect clean, good water for cooking, for drinking. What are we going to do? What are businesses and schools going to do if there's not water? You know, during, I think, Mother's Day, water went down for that weekend, and it is estimated by, I think, economist Ray Perryman, that the city lost over $4 million that went to Midland or somewhere else. Just think, every time it goes down, it could be a $4 million loss. Times that times 96, and it becomes apparent to me that water is critical. We have to get that system up to date. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pleasant, but we have to have our water system up to date.
How about when it comes to roads or things like trash? That's one of the things that you've also been voicing strongly about.
Yes, I have two main issues. Number one, just drive around Odessa. If you drive a one-ton pickup like I do, the roads are rough. I mean, drive 2nd Street. Every day I come to work on Highway 80, come to the office, and the roads are in terrible shape. So, and I've looked at the statistics, and they're readily available. Money was allocated to the road system, but it wasn't spent. So one has to ask you, why were $3.7 million allocated to the roads and none of it spent? I don't understand that. Why aren't we fixing our roads? Why aren't we improving our infrastructure? Along with that, I'm not going to lie about it, when you drive the roads in Odessa, we all have a lot of little mesquite plants growing in different places. There must be 100 million plastic bags and mesquite trees across West Texas, and it drives me insane. I just feel like when people come to our community, it's an ugly look. It really is. It means we're not taking, I think, pride in our community. I want to be very active in becoming more intentional about picking up trash, about having trash days. I'm not going to lie to you. I'd like to see our prisoners out there every day picking up trash. I've done it myself. I've never asked someone else to do something I wouldn't do myself. So I've done it, and I think if there's guys sitting around doing nothing all day, why not? Why not go up every road and start picking up trash and trying to beautify our community so something we can be proud of?
Are there any organizations that you would like to partner with to help you fulfill those concerns? Well,
as you well know, you should know, or you're going to find out, there used to be, and I apologize, my mind just went completely blank on me, but an organization for the city that was in charge of that, and I think the city government shut it down and took it under the wing of the city instead of being independent. And I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. But at any rate, yes, there's organizations that are, I think, designed for and can help beautify Odessa. You can also, as you know, like on most state highways, you can sort of, I guess the word is adopt a road, and you put your sign up. Why can't we do that locally? Why can't we have a street that someone's in charge of, they put a little sign up, hey, this is the Lions Club, or this is the OHS Booster Club, or this is the Permian High School Band Club. Why can't we all grab one road and make it nice? That's my goal, is to let's all participate all across the community to try to make our city more beautiful, make everyone more proud to be an Odessan.
Thank you, Cal. Well, for anybody out there who is wondering about your qualifications, what experience do you have that you believe would suit well if you were to be elected?
So when obviously I have a business degree, so I have at least a general understanding of accounting, of finance, of marketing, of management. Also have a law degree. I've spent the last 35 years practicing law, both on a private sector for the 29 years, and during that time I also became a mediator, so I'm a certified mediator. So I mediate cases, which is a different skill set. And then for the last 6 years I've been what's called Regional Director of Risk Management or of Risk Solutions. So all of that means this. As a lawyer, I was trained to identify problems, to come up with solutions, to think outside the box, not just to follow a certain path every time or a certain process, but instead to use lots of different ways to come about finding the right solution to the specific problem. As a mediator, skill sets include getting along with others, trying to bring people together, trying to see the common goal and find a resolution to a problem. As a risk solver, currently with McAnally Wilkins, my job really is to help our clients identify risk in like master service agreements, and then try to tailor language to help reduce their risk, or at least help to make their risk more even with the company. And so all of these things combined, I have analytical thinking, I have problem solving, I have the ability to bring people together and get along with others. And I think that's needed at a time like this. Our country, our state, even locally, there's a lot of division. If you didn't know it, look at what happened in March with the elections. There was so much division, even within one party. To me, we all need to take a deep breath, take a step back, and become Odessans, united as one for the common good of all. And so that's my goal.
With that being said, what qualifications do you think a city mayor must have?
So I think a mayor has to have a lot of qualifications. Number one, you have to have, I think, the ability to get along with others. I think you have to be able to be calm and cool and collective in your thought processes. I think you have to, the ability to work with others. There's a lot of different departments in the city. There's different governmental entities like the hospital and the county. And so you have to have the ability to work with others. And I think first and foremost, really, you got to be nice. You have to be nice to people. You have to want to get along with others, and you have to sort of unify or have the ability to unify people so you can work for that common good. And so these are the things I've seen in past mayors that I think have been very successful, and they're the traits or characteristics I think I have to help the city become united.
How about when it comes to transparency? What does it mean to you, and how important would it be for you if you were to be elected as the Odessa City Mayor?
I think transparency is the key to government. That is, everyone needs to know what's going on, why you're making a decision, and how does that decision affect them, but how is it the best thing for the city of Odessa? And how to do that? Well, you invite, I think, media to everything we do. I think you have town hall meetings to open up and discuss the new program or different solution. Hey, if we're going to build a new water treatment plant, we need to have public forum, bring everybody together and show them what the problem is, how we think the best way to solve that problem, and what it's going to cost them. And you've got to educate them across the board because they're out there working hard, taking care of their families just like I was for many years. It's hard to get involved. Someone needs to at least show you the path and show you the pros and the cons and why they think that's the best interest of the city, and that's what I intend to do.
Last week was a pivotal moment for you. You announced your candidacy. What has the response been like so far?
Well, I have to first of all thank my family, my wife, and my children for being so supportive. I want to thank all the people that have texted, emailed, called, sent good wishes. I think the outpouring of support was really, to me, humbling. We filled up the city council chambers with people, and it's just been, I guess it's really been an unbelievable experience to people to reach out and to let them know they support me and kind of what direction I want to take the city in.
Now, I also understand that you have children who will also be returning to Odessa. With that being said, we have a younger generation coming back, and that's something that you're also looking to tackle, is bringing something to Odessa, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it seemed like when I graduated back in the 80s, it was a tough time in the West Texas, okay? Oil was down, we were in a recession. Most of my friends ended up somewhere in the I-35 or I-45 corridor, that is, Fort Worth, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston. My daughter's generation, most of them have come back to Odessa. Why? Because there's so much economic opportunity. There's so many jobs available and the ability to make a really good living here in West Texas. I personally think our economy is based on oil and gas, let's face it. But oil and gas can fuel the nation. I think we already are would be the third largest oil producing nation in the world at just the Permian Basin. Honestly, I think we can be number one. And with that comes the opportunity for kids to come back and work as, I don't care if you're a truck driver, you're a welder, you're an engineer, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer. It doesn't matter. There are so many opportunities out here. I want to make sure that the younger generation has opportunities. And there are, but I want to even be better.
What is your overall vision for the city of Odessa?
I think first and foremost, I would like to unify the city. I want everyone to be on the same page, or at least moving in the same direction. And that's with regard to infrastructure, that's regard to roads, that's regard to trash, that's regard to really what can we do as common citizens so we have a place in the state and in the nation that Odessa is the place to be. Odessa is a great place to raise your family. Odessa has wonderful opportunities, has great education, has great infrastructure. This is where people want to be and need to be. Why? Because there's so much opportunity out here for everyone that I think we can have a huge draw, bringing talent to this area. And then, again, moving our economic status up to, we'll become the #1 oil producer in the nation, if we were a nation, obviously, but #1 across the entire world in production of oil and gas to help fuel this country and help fuel the United States.
Cal, following your announcement last week, does this mean your campaign has already started?
I would say we're in the infancy stage of the campaign. Mainly, we got the word out so people actually know. We're going to be filing next week, and then we're going to be holding a series of fundraisers. I hope some town hall meetings to get to know some of the community I may not know as well, to set up my platform up, to let people know what I stand for, and to get to know me. And then obviously we're moving into the election season. There'll be I'm for a series of debates. I read in a recent article that the Odessa Accountability thinks we're scared to debate. I'm like, debate? Let's bring it on. Let's have 4 of them. Let's have them in every station and everywhere, because I think people deserve to know who you are, what you stand for, and what can you do to help the city. So I stand ready to get out in front of the public and work hard.
Well, I want to give you that chance right now too. Is what would you tell your voters right now to win their vote?
Here's what I would say. I think the city has some problems. I think I can help solve those problems. But the key to life is what's held me for a good steed all of my career is this. I promise you 2 things. I promise you I will work very hard. And number 2, I promise you that everything I do will be in the best interest of the city. No more promise. That's all I'll promise. That's all I can do, really, is do my best, work hard, and try to do what the city is best for the city. And I think if you do those things, the rest will come naturally, organically, that is. It will be, the city will improve, we'll have better water, we'll have better roads, and I think we'll have more opportunity to bring people into Odessa, because that's where they want to be. That's where the jobs are. That's where the opportunities to really do well in life are, and that's what my goal is.
One of the final questions I have for you is for people who want to keep up to date with you, and if they want to reach out, how do they do so?
So again, infancy stage of the campaign, but we do have a Facebook page. It's Vote at Cal for Mayor, and we're going to have a website at Cal for Mayor, and we're building it right now. But basically, I'm not going to lie to you, I still work full time. I still work very hard, so I'm having to call on my wife to assist me and others. And so I'm just getting started, but I do want to be able to be available to people. I want people to be able to contact me with questions, with suggestions, with how can we do better, because I don't have all the answers. I need everyone helping me do a better job.
Cal, this has been so great listening to you today. I just want to give you the chance to mention anything that I didn't ask you about that you think would be important for you to voice.
I think the most important thing is, in this election, is to see where have we been, and is that how you want to keep going, or do you want a different direction? Okay, it's that simple. I think I'll offer some different direction. I want to unite the city. I know, for example, we're 300 persons down right now, 300 people. There's probably a reason that roads aren't being completed or repaired. There's probably a reason the water system hasn't been fixed. There's not been a lot of unity, in my opinion, in the past 4 years. I want to unify the people. I want to get people excited about working for the city. I want to get people excited about having a better city, something to be proud of, something to brag about. I want Texas Monthly to be able to come into Odessa and say, wow, this is great. I wish every city was being run this way. Why? Because look at X, Y, and Z. Look at your infrastructure. Look at your people. Look at your growth. That's what I want to find. I want Odessa to be the best. That's really the one thing.
Thank you so much, Cal. Well, I just want to say thank you to Cal Hendrick for joining us here on NewsWest 9 today. A reminder that October 7th is the last day to register to vote during this election year. Early voting begins October 21st and Election Day is November 5th. If you want to catch more news stories along with us from us, log on to newswest9.com, our YouTube channel, and our streaming service 9 Plus, which is available on Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV. Thank you so much for joining us.